What's up everybody, welcome back to another Heroclix video. We are in the super rares portion of the War of the Realms set review for competitive play. Unfortunately, there's only 3 figures I feel that are viable or competitive. I'm not going to go into some of the more gimmicky pieces like Malekith and Iron Allfather, because I just really feel like if you're going to play Allfather at 300 points, you're just giving up 300 points right away because you're going to get out actioned with them. And Malekith, I think he's getting close, but I think he's just a little too many points, and maybe he needs a move and attack. But I think he's getting there. Okay, so I have 3 here. So we'll start with number 45, Thor. This is becoming like a theme in every one. It's like the first one we're going to go over every time. It's the shifting focus, the 75 point super rare version. This is one of those again. He doesn't start off too great, but when he gets hit later on, then this could be an option. Just keep in mind though, if you're going to be playing the shifting focus, with all the sideline spots quickly being used by Trouble Alerts, Scroll, Sentinel, Shifting Focus, and now ID cards for silver, and little things, even like Destroyer Prime. You're going to have to really be kind of judicious to on your choices for the sideline. So maybe you might not play all the Thors, but let's just go over this guy. He has the Hammer Throw, which is power, improved targeting, destroy blocking. It's pretty good, and characters. He ignores characters. Make a close attack regardless of adjacency, targeting all opposing characters within 6 squares along a single direct line of fire. Each hit character is dealt Thor's printed damage value instead of normal damage. After resolutions, destroy any walls or squares of blocking terrain along the direct line of fire. The closest thing I could think of with this would be if you've seen the original Thor from, I want to say 2011 or 2010, when he's fighting the Frost Giants, and he throws the hammer and it just breaks all the Ice Giants, Frost Giants all the way through, and it comes back to him. That's kind of like what this is, but he only has a 10 attack, so, and he's not doing any kind of penetrating, no precision strike, anything like that, and he only has sidestep to get him in position, which is probably not that great. However, he does have a lot of reducers. He gets stronger in the back, so just another option. He wouldn't be as high on the list for me. Alright, so the next one is Valkyrie number 49. I'm actually going to look at the 100 point dial, because although the 60 point dial is pretty good, it's only 4 clicks, and it doesn't get she doesn't have the special foot power one, which is what we want. So she is 100 points, 6 range. She flies as Guardian Deity. And it has oh gosh, I don't know how to say this. Unjar, the all weapon. It says free, choose a standard attack or standard power printed on Valkyrie's card. Valkyrie can use the chosen power until she chooses again. That's a great trait because she has Steel Energy, Blades, and Quake, or she has Outwit, Close Combat Expert, or Prob. And then she can use it until she chooses again, so that's great. You don't have to use it every turn. But the good thing about this is if you're on the top click, she can go ahead and choose Prob if you want, or she can choose Close Combat Expert to go along with the charge, so she can get a bump on attack and damage. And then on the back end, or in the middle dial, she can choose Steel Energy to heal back up, or if she's on the Prob, she can choose either Outwit or Close Combat. There's a lot of applications here, which is great because it gives her that flexibility that you're always looking for in a figure, so that your opponent won't know what you're doing. At least that's the hope. And then the other trait is Thor is a god, Valkyrie is a job. When a character damaged by Valkyrie this turn would be KO'd but isn't, after resolutions, modify Valkyrie's combat values +1 this game. This is the other reason why you're going to play her. There are a lot of kind of undying living legend type of figures that when if they die, they come back. Especially in the Krakoan revival portion of the game. A lot of X-Men don't die and they come back. Guess what? She now has +1 combat values for the game. And if you can keep her in that kind of top to mid dial, she's going to be a beast, right? If she can get like 2 of those, she's going to be like a 13 attack, 12 attack, like 5 damage, higher. It's really a good trait for how the game kind of is going right now. And keep in mind that it's a character damaged by Valkyrie this turn. Would be KO'd. So she doesn't even have to be the one that deals like that quote-unquote killing blow. She can just hit them and then maybe another person hits them and then they come back. Now, note that it's just damaged. So if there's a way that she has poison or any kind of dealing damage outside of like attacks, that would trigger this as well. And then the main one, why we're looking at 100 points, is the foot power. It's the first 3 clicks. Mr. Horse, your timing is impeccable. Charge. When Valkyrie uses it, don't half speed unless she has generated a Mr. Horse bystander this game. Once per turn or once per game, free generate a Mr. Horse bystander. So she's charging for 10. And, she has good stats up top, obviously. Just real quick to go over, she has, I think I already mentioned it, she has Quake, Blades, Steel Energy. And then she has Charge, and then Flurry. And then Imperv, Invuln, and then Regen in the back. So she actually has quite a bit of longevity. And then, of course, the damage powers, I think what I was saying was great. Outwit, Prob, and Close Combat Expert. She could choose. She basically has 2, almost access to 2 at all times. Now, the Horse Bystander is something that she can do after she charges. So she can move 10, carry somebody, hit with whatever, Close Combat Expert, Outwit, and then Outwit. And then she drops off Mr. Horse for free, and then Mr. Horse has 10 attack, 2 damage exploit, and it has a 12 move charge itself. Now, what's cool about this is you don't have to do it this way. This is why I was saying why Valkyrie, I think, has some playability here. You can choose to make a Mr. Horse bystander basically on turn 1, and then use the horse to carry as another taxi for free because it moves 12. So that's another extra taxi you're getting for free, right? So, and her attack values are going to be high just because she has 11, and then when it goes down to 10, she could choose Close Combat Experts. Goes back to 11. Her damage is always going to be 3 throughout the whole dial, which is awesome. And it could even go up to 4 if you choose Close Combat Expert. And then that's not to mention if they have the Thor is a god, Valkyrie is a job trait where they come back and she gets stats. 7 clicks, 100 points, decent, but she does quite a bit of things. So I think, although a lot of people probably aren't looking at this because it's kind of high points, I think there's something really, to me, worth looking at. Because I've played her a couple times in Sealed and she's actually really, really good. So another one of those characters that another figures like Curse and King Ulick where it could get overlooked just because there are other options, but I think she's solid. Okay, and then the last one here I think is the best one. This one deserves quite a bit of time. This is the super rare number 50 Doctor Strange, the Recruiter version. He's got Defenders and Mystics team ability, already pretty good. 8 range, it's only 50 points, 6 clicks, so on rate's already solid, right? 8 range, 50 points, 6 clicks. Has phase, sidestep, he flies, energy, explosion, incap, sure. And then ESD with 18, which is solid because they're going to be shooting. And then super senses, and then prob and enhancement. So if he's on the first half, perfect. Phase, prob, Defenders, Mystics. Keywords are Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Mystical. Pretty good. Improved targeting, hindering, which is good because he can hit people there in stealth, and then they don't get the +1. And then, of course, he has a Recruiter, and it's for Mystical. That's much better than what we've seen from the other Recruiters, because they're specific to like teams, like Avengers, Masters of Evil, Asgardian, whatever. He is a generic, so he can actually go across universes. You can even pick WWE guys that are mystical. Kane, Undertaker, here's looking at you. That itself makes it makes him that much better because he can call in permanently a Wendigo or a Tri-Sentinel. And those are easier to recruit in if you're giving up points that are lower. Like, let's say Faust goes down or another Sentinel goes down. It's really easy, or a Proteus even, 20-point Proteus, whatever. I'm sorry. He's not mystical. But if they're these little under 50-point mystical guys that go down, Wendigo and Tri-Sentinels and even Dormammu can come in right away. And it's not going to cost that many points because they're only 15, 30, 35. We're not, you're not bringing like a 50, 60-point guy, which is like a heavy toll, like what Krakoan Revival does. Now, the other thing is this trait, which is huge for pieces like Wendigo. A mentor in the Mystic Arts. Free. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, choose a friendly character with the mystical keyword this turn. When the chosen character attacks, after resolutions, deal a hit target 1 penetrating damage. Now that's per hit. So if somebody has Flurry and he uses this on them, for example, Wendigo. If he charges Flurries and he hits for 3, afterwards he does 1 after. And then he does it again, 1 after. And then if he and now they have wound tokens, he sidesteps, hits, and then he does penetrating again. So that's something that can trigger multiple times. So if you have somebody with Flurry that has a mystical keyword and they get in, ooh, that's brutal, right? So like a piece like Blackheart, who when he gets hit to the stop click, he has a Flurry click. So he's on Flurry, and if there's a Hellfire Guard there and he sacks it or sacrifices it, it dies, and then he gets to charge for free. Guess what? If Doctor Strange uses the Mentor in the Mystic Arts on him, he's doing Flurry, penetrating, and then he does penetrating after with the trait here twice. So there's a lot of applications here with this, because it also works with like Tri-Sentinel. After he pulse waves, he can do 1 damage to somebody else. That's like this part of the Mentor of the Mystic Arts trait is how you get around stop clicks and like Mastermind. So if there's a stop click, let's say you're hitting Unimind to the stop click, then afterwards the Mentor of the Mystic Arts triggers, boom, they're going to take 1, and then Unimind will pop. Or if you hit Blackheart twice, he gets hit to the stop click, and then he's going to take 1 penetrating, and then you can hit him again to the next. So he goes to the other stop click, and then he gets penetrating again if you hit him twice again, right? So on top of that too, Doctor Strange is a capable attacker if you don't want to go that route, because he has an 8 range with an 11 attack prob, and he ignores hindering. That's pretty good. And then of course Mystics. So if they do if they want to hit him, he'll get hit himself, or he'll hit back, and he can also use the Mentor in the Mystics Arts on himself. So he's using Energy Explosion with this. He's going to do 1 after that to somebody. That's pretty solid. So this is one of those pieces that the more that we see cheap and efficient mystical pieces out there, the better he gets. Or if there are more mystical pieces that can attack multiple times, like Wendigo, then this guy gets better. So this is one of those we'll see for a long time. And he's also an Avengers piece, so if you want to play him on a theme team and just your team happens to also have some mystical guys, you can combine Avengers, or Defenders for that matter, and then bring in the mysticals. So those are the 3 I think. I think of these, Doctor Strange is like the number 1 piece that's going to be tier 1. Valkyrie is like tier 2, 1.5, tier 2, and then Thor is just a notch below that. But that's only if we actually see any kind of shifting focus in play. See any shifting focus in competitive play. So, all right. Well, I know it's only 3, but I think we really need to look at that Doctor Strange as like a top piece. Let me know what you guys think of the other pieces and what are practical applications in competitive play for them in all 3 formats: bronze, silver, and modern. And then, maybe we can go back and revisit it again. But, all right, well, that's what I got. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. And I'll be back for the chases, and then the primes, and then the fast forces. All right. Until next time, guys, remember, only bad players blame the dice. See ya.